Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Texas Hotspot and welcome to Friday Night Fire. I'm going to get right into bringing my co-host in because I can hear my dog outside screaming for help because I left him outside. What's up, Brandon? I'm going to go get my dog real quick.
All right. We got a big show planned for tonight. Let's check the comments here. Man, we already got a bunch of people in the comments. Sundance, Kevin, Tone Ranger, Sip Chomper, of course. We got
all right
people.
My apologies. What's up, Tone Ranger? What's up, Sip Chomper? My apologies, guys. My apologies. I had to get my dog.
Already went through the comments.
Welcome to the show. We got some special guests here tonight. You guys have already seen, if you've seen the banners, you've seen the thumbnails, you've seen the advertisements. We have a very special guest with us tonight, all the way from Louisiana. Please put your hands together or wherever you're at. Just welcome into the show, Troy Primo. What's going on, Mr. Primo?
How's it going? I'm glad to be here, Friday night.
We are so honored to have you.
I'm honored to be here, man,
Yeah, so real quick, how's the weather in Louisiana?
Dude, it like last week it was great, like, in the 50s, as you know, it's gumbo weather. And today is humid as hell. It's almost like you walked out in the sauna, 90 degrees. I'll take it because it's not 110, as you know, up there in Texas. Y'all had it too, man. And Colorado, you were probably just sailing, dude.
It's nice here. I love where I live.
I know. I love your state. I'd like to go back, man.
I've never been to Colorado, but I do want to go visit my boy.
It's cool, man. It's kind of like when we were driving up to Colorado, when it was like in '95, my first time. We're in like Amarillo or something, and I see a landfill, and I'm like, look, a mountain, And they're like, no, dude, you haven't seen shit yet, and
you'll see the mountains.
God's country, man.
Good view of a lot of the mountains out here. It's I like where I live.
But it's but like humidity brings forth humility to humanity. So a lot of these Cajuns, they either make good music during bad weather or they make babies, I guess. But it took me till 48 years old to have my first, so I guess I was making music. So anyway. Yeah. It's
so
cool,
yeah, man. Welcome to the show. I know that you said you've seen Friday Night Fire here and there around.
Yeah, man.
You're a busy man, so this is Friday Night Fire. We come, we take a load off from our busy week.
Hang out, have a beer.
Hang out, have a beer. Have some Topo Chico, which is delicious mineral water from Mexico. I love that stuff.
TVMA, guys.
Yeah, man.
We're not sponsored by Topo Chico, but wouldn't mind being.
Yeah, send some Topo Chico. Good sweat.
What's up, Steven? All right, so look, I want to get into something real quick. The question of all questions. I see your name down there, Primo, but that's not how you spell it. What's going on?
No, man. That's
the original way to spell your name is
Primeaux, which is Cajun French. The X
I love that.
was added in like Nova Scotia because they kicked us out. I think we were exiles, so that X must mean we did something right, we're like the underbelly, the underdogs. So we ended up made the journey, and my family, and I'm a mutt though, man. I got like Frenchy, German, Irish, Native American, all kinds of stuff, so. And the only thing I can tell about Native American that I have maybe is a innate mysticism, self-professed, and I don't have any hair on my chest most.
I have no hair. Yeah.
There you go.
I'm like hairless.
Yeah,
I'm definitely hairy. I'm a hairy man, and I'm proud of it.
That's all right, man. The world loves Sasquatch too, dude. No, so Primo, kind of playing music. I was playing with this rock and roll band called Santeria, and the guys would just kind of call me Primo, like Primo and lead guitar. And I shortened it because no one could pronounce that name out of state, or some people can't pronounce it in Louisiana, but it's like Primo, and then it became a moniker, kind of like Slash, it's kind of like, because, I have this curly afro thing going on. As a kid, my name was Ronald Troy Primo, and the kids were just horrible, man, like teasing me, Ronald McDonald. So as soon as I could get a haircut, you know, that my mom wasn't policing. I cut it all off and just went by Troy. Well, you know, my rock and roll buddy Deej is at, you know, my dad's, and he sees this school picture of me with this big afro with buck teeth and freckles. He's like, Mr. Ronnie, who is that? He's like, that's Troy. He's like, dude, you got to do it. You got to do it. And I was like, no, man, why would I want to do it? He's like, do it. Take that insecurity and exaggerate it. He's like, do it. So I did it. And it became like Art Garfunkel, Jimi Hendrix with, you know, Haight-Ashbury pants and, you know, Primo on lead guitar. And I didn't really think much about it, you know, but I met a girl, and you know, I'm married her now, you know, 20 years later, and I have a kid, but she saw something in that guy on stage. Like, he doesn't give a shit, you know, he's himself. So it's like exaggerating an insecurity and rolling with it, man. And so when I started doing peppers, it just kind of, you know, Christopher Phillips named the cross. I said, this is 7-pot I'm working on, you know. And he said, he just dubbed it 7-pot Primo. And I would have named it something cooler, you know, like the Reaper's a cooler name, and there's a lot of other cooler names. But I mostly call it the Primo now. You know,
it's perfect, man. I think that 7-pot Primo is perfect. It rolls off the tongue perfect.
Iconic.
Cool, man.
And it's notorious. It has now already found its way as being notorious with something very spicy.
Yeah. I can't do anything about it other than just, you know, like roll with it. It's what it's done, you know.
Man. You got to roll with it. It's been too long. So before we keep going into Pepper Dreams, I want to start hitting on what little thing you already mentioned, a guy named Deej and a band named Santeria. Now, this was a funkadelic, psychedelic Southern rock band that you guys decided to come together in 1994 and create. Now, when you guys decided to come together,
think about it, 94. Yeah, okay, all right. They started in 94, but I didn't.
No, you guys started playing music in 94. You came together, and you played the lead guitar, correct, sir?
Lead guitar, rhythm. You know, Deej and I traded off. There's some songs where he'll start a lead and I'll take over, and I'll do slide and he'll do slide, and we do dueling Ebo solos and all kind of stuff. You know, but mostly lead and rhythm, but mostly lead. Yeah.
So if anyone out there in the comments section that's listening, by the way, we got about 15 people in the house. We appreciate you guys sticking around on your Friday night. We got Troy Primo in the house. And we're talking about how he had a band named Santeria in the 90s, all the way up to the year 2000. And if you guys are wondering what Troy Primo looks like in a band, you ain't have to go nowhere but right here. Please enjoy the next 48 seconds of Santeria.
That wasn't. I remember that gig, man. It was Mardi Gras in Lafayette, and it wasn't a great gig, but it was like there was a bunch of fucking drunk people, so it was like, you know, and we ended up getting paid like each a gift certificate to Curious Goods, which is a head shop. So like, and that's Can You Dream, which is kind of like a it's just a little Eastern Indian kind of inspired riff, and you know, we're all over the place with, you know, it's kind of stoner rocky, and
I love it.
You know. I love it, man. I was actually fortunate enough. I've been talking with Troy in the past week. I was fortunate enough Troy sent me over a full album and more music.
Man.
Him, and honestly, I sat down and it was chill vibes, relaxing, almost Pink Floydish at the same time.
Some of that,
more of a kind of like a Fish sound to it, the psychedelic into it.
Yeah, it's like that. The name of the hot sauce, Swampadelic, that's derivative from what we used to call our sound. You know, it's like people would always out of state say, oh, it's got, you know, Delta blues and it's got swamp in it, but we didn't hear it. I mean, I guess it's in there, you know, but
Yeah.
we were trying to be original. If we sound like anything, we thought we sound like we do it different. But, and that's how I live my life with peppers, you know, and hot sauce. I mean, I'd rather fail, you know, being original than being a copycat. I mean, I mean, I guess it's flattery when someone copies you, but you know, I'd much rather just be an original musician than a cover band, you know?
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
So
let's talk about, you know, Santeria going good as a band, going good. You guys are
Right.
playing,
Right.
possibly on the road to even getting signed by a major record label. You guys are hitting it, playing shows, killing it.
yeah.
Now, let's talk about the unfortunate event of the drummer and the car accident.
Yeah,
Get into that.
Krishna, man, Krishna Casturi. See, there's an article out there that Reese Fuller wrote called Strung Out on the Dream that kind of documents our House of Dying Sun album and how we thought we were a victim of a voodoo curse, you know, because we found like a heart in our mailbox and, you know, like a freaking people would put these religious things on our amplifiers in New Orleans, and maybe that's normal, but it was like there was some weird stuff going on, a lot of bad luck. And the kind of pinnacle of the bad luck was Krishna Casturi, who's a good friend of mine, and he's Team Primo, and he ended up like getting hit head on by an 18-wheeler and busted him up pretty bad, broke nearly every bone in his body. And we took a hiatus, you know. Deej kept doing what he's doing this like Delta blues, dobro, psychedelic dobro. And I produced, you know, his first 2 albums and mixed them, and we recorded them, and they're pretty cool. And there's a story with Quentin Tarantino about that. But
yeah. So let's get into that, man. So you and Deej performed. You produced a Grammy nominated song that was actually used in Django Unchained.
Yeah, man. And we still get a little scratch from that. What was that, Brandon?
I did not know that. That's pretty.
Yeah,
cool.
I
told
like,
you, bro. I'm the Nardwuar. I'm the Nardwuar.
You're good, dude. You're good. I don't brag about shit like that, but you know, it was something that Deej recorded largely in a shed and in his house, and you know, just like we did some supplemental recording, but you know, it was mixed. Tony Daigle and Deej and I mixed it at Tony's studio. Tony's a Grammy award-winning, you know, engineer and producer and a good friend of ours. And we, you know, at first I just wanted to do it to get it out of the way to do some Santeria shit. Like I just like, because I think at this point Krishna was on the mend. Maybe we could do another album, and maybe, and I just wanted to get it out of the way and to help Deej out. And we have our own record company called Goler Wash Labs and Records. So we released like, you know, Santeria on that and Brother Deej. Anyway, I kind of got into it, man, you know, and like I started getting more into it. And it was a way to get away from Kara and go over there and freaking like, you know, smoke a roach and drink some wine with the guys and, you know, have guys night. And she bitched the whole time, man. It's like I was gone. And we ended up making a pretty good, for the turd we shined, you know what I mean? Like the recording, it wasn't all like freaking big budget recording. It's big time with the big timers, you know? So people identified with it and they loved it, and I love it, man. There's one kind of track called The Battle of New Orleans that is it's kind of like about Katrina, sort of, you know, loosely. And at the end we're like, let's do The Storm, you know. And I'm like, okay. So I dialed in a bunch of static like John Lennon did on which one's that, She's So Heavy, and you know, just static. And then Deej hit his dobro like pop 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 pop. It sounded like a helicopter, and we mixed all this in waves of freaking, you know, ocean waves. It just all made organically. And we had this chick come in the studio that was kind of like in a popular band in Lafayette. She's like, what the hell are you doing? She walks in and just sound of just and like, you know, I don't know how many minutes of it. And like, she's like, why y'all wasting studio time on that? I'm like, why not, dude? because the album is a piece. It's a piece of art. I don't see it as a hit song.
I
see it as like
that, man.
It's freaking. You know, the album's meant to put on and just sit back
from the heart.
And listen to it like they used to do in the old days, man.
Yeah,
and that's the way
If anybody out there, sorry to cut you off. If anybody
that's all right.
out there is, including Brandon, anybody watching is interested in hearing a really good album, hit me up. You need a Dropbox in order for me to send this to you, but hit me up. I'm sure Troy wouldn't mind me sharing some of his music out.
No problem, man.
Yeah, man.
No problem,
hit me up on Facebook Messenger.
Yeah,
and we'll have to get some of Troy Primo's early music, man, with Santeria.
Yeah, Santeria, man. God damn, I can't say too much, right? But you might hear some of it in the future.
Oh,
you might. The Pepper community might. I don't know.
Cool.
Maybe we'll put it on vinyl or something. I don't know, but
I love vinyl. Like
I would love
you can't see, but I got a bunch of vinyl right there. It would definitely be
amazing to hear some more Santeria, some new Santeria.
Yeah,
getting everybody back together, man. It's good to see. So
I love some chili vinyl. That'd be dope.
You like vinyl? Look, Randy, you were just saying
vinyl.
You have vinyl, man. Look, Good was talking to me.
I was just telling Zach he needs to upgrade.
Dude, look, I had that. My first memories as a kid was like, pushing over my mom's flower pot on this big console thing and opening it up. And there's a big 8-track player and a big knob and a radio. And then there's this freaking turntable and putting on my dad's like Grand Funk American Band, and, I still love that song, man. That and like all the classic stuff and soul and R&B, and it just came out of this analog presence that was just like it's for our ears, man. It's the way we were born and made. It's like it
just feels different than digital.
It feels right.
There's nothing like it. You know what? I used to give people shit like, okay, so the reason I got into vinyl was my ex-wife. She was like heavy hippie.
Yeah.
Chick, right? And she loves
a lot of Grateful Dead albums.
She was like, it's got feeling, it's got texture. And I was like, I don't know.
You
hippie. The more and the more I listen to it, the more I'm like, you know what? Yeah, there's so much more depth to this than you can get on digital.
You can't sell me on it, man. I'm just me personally. I like my digital music.
You can have it all. You can have it all. Man.
Yeah. There's no.
Yeah, you can have it all. Music. Look, I listen to digital all the time, but you know what? I have all these like I have a terabyte, I guess, of needle drops. And what that is like, somebody capturing an album in a super high res fidelity, like, 24-bit 192K or
that's what I'm talking about.
And they'll
where it sounds like you're in the same
room
with the guys.
I can't afford a Hendrix album, a first pressing, like, Are You Experience that's clean with no pops.
Yeah,
but some dude took
like quality to it. Like there's only so many plays you can get on before it starts degrading. And
man.
Yeah,
I geek out on that stuff. That's like if I ever get money, I'm talking about daily money. That's where it goes, man.
There we
go.
Good.
You're good.
You good? All right. Yeah.
Yeah. Pop
I see a pause.
You're good.
That's what I spend my money on. Like, I don't give a shit about anything else but like music. And if I can, pay for the pepper garden or whatever we have to do, but that's a whole different thing that I kind of, music's my first love, man. Peppers is my consolation prize for giving up music. What's that?
I mess around with music sometimes too. I do. I got a bunch of Korg Volcas. I got like pretty much every Korg Volca that they ever made. I think I got like 10 different ones.
Whoa.
And I hook them all up together. I've got.
You should hear some of this shit.
Dude, send me some of that shit, man.
I don't record none of it. It's all live.
You need to record it, dude.
I just do it for myself, and I just start looping shit, and I just
I know you do it for yourself, but you know what? You might want to look, Brandon. You're talking about doing like a new business venture and having a website.
Yeah,
wouldn't that shit sound good playing in the background or something?
Some crazy, like
You're supposed to.
My shit's all weird. We're just like
Yeah.
It's just noise basically, but it's like.
But that's all right,
a
man.
beat,
I love
you know?
early Pink Floyd. I love I love avant-garde. I mean, I listen to
my
all kind of
mom's
stuff,
here.
man. I know
Yeah.
we could talk about music for an hour, but
Hello,
you know.
Mama.
Yeah.
Who's here? Tom?
Actually,
That's my no. This is my mom.
Oh, I thought you said Tom. I was like
No,
Petropolis, man.
no. We don't. Tom Petropolis never pops into Friday Night Fire. We don't have to worry about that.
He wrote me. No, he wrote me today, actually, man.
Okay.
If you want to talk about Pepper X, we can talk about it.
Not yet.
Yeah,
Not
let
yet.
people get assimilate. All right.
I got a couple more things. We're gonna get into peppers. I promise. There's just a couple more.
No,
things
I mean,
I
no, it's
wanna
cool.
hit on.
I mean, I like talking. Actually, I like talking about music. But whatever you.
No, let me move into. Okay,
Yeah,
so like I said,
I'll give you
you had a
DMs
really,
about that.
you had a really successful music career, and it's nothing short of a miracle when you look back at it and just see the journey that you've had.
It's a miracle that we didn't freaking die. We did a
Yeah.
lot of drugs and a lot of, I'm not proud of it, but I don't like regret it.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it's who I am, and it shaped, the way I look at life and everything. I mean, there's a lot of peaks and valleys in that journey, and I'm not like, I'm not a never say never guy, So
I think that's better to live a life like that, because you can look back and say, I never shied away from anything. I always tried it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Never. I want to die knowing I didn't have no regrets. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no regret. That's why I had Hudson. I mean, we had Hudson. It's like at 48, I was thinking, never thought about that shit. Most of the time, in Catholic school upbringing, you didn't. They taught you not to sneeze on a girl, you get her pregnant. And it's like nowadays at 48, I'm like, man, it takes a little work. I like the work. Work's good, but we had them, and it was just carried it. I mean, we didn't want kids, man. We were like just having fun, man, and traveling and go to Pacific Northwest, and got married up there, and not like we had a lot of money, but the money that we spent was on just selfish things, But that's okay when you're single.
Life should be, man.
Sometimes you got to treat yourself.
That's the way life should be, man.
But now,
it's your life. You might as well live it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we lived it up. We had a good time, man. We had a lot
of. I'm trying to do.
I'm gonna start veering the interview now.
All right, go ahead. Let's go.
To the pepper side, huh?
Where's Eric?
I don't know. Midge was supposed to be here with a couple other people.
Midge ate a few Wrecking Crew peppers, and he's out of commission right now, I think.
Probably.
No, he's got that. He's got the arsenal over there at his house.
He does have a lot of peppers on him, so that's gonna be. And by the way, guys, if you're watching, don't forget to tune into this weekend's pepper competition over in San Francisco. Where is it? Sacramento.
Sacramento.
Yeah, Sacramento. That's going on this weekend. Make sure you guys get tuned into that too. But we're going to move on to this. So, Troy, let me get into your head a little bit. Let me pick your head a little bit.
Let me think.
So, you're playing in a band, right? You got a nice afro. You're playing in a band. You're funking it out. Funk.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden you think, I want to become a nurse?
No. That was like playing in a band, working on an album, House Dying Sun. And then.
Wait. Hold on. I hate to interrupt you.
No, it's all right.
Keep that on your mind. We're going to talk.
No, I got it.
We're going to talk about becoming a nurse in a second.
Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we talk of the devil. Here's Midge.
What's
Jiff.
up?
Oh,
and the Reaper teacher.
Got the
and Brownie Boy, Steve Berlin.
Got them all in there at one time. How's it going?
Hello.
Turn that light off, Mitch. To your right.
This. Let's see what's going on here. What's
there
going on, everybody?
What's up?
Hey!
Right on, man. I wish I was in Cali, man,
Everybody's over there. They're in Sacramento. They're getting ready for their festival coming up. They're going to be eating some pods, seeing some nice hot sauce vendors. But yeah, guys, welcome to the show. We're talking to Troy Primo here. We're just about to get in him going to college to become a nurse.
Hi, Troy.
Yeah. Hey, what's going on? Look, congratulations again for your last League of Fire venture, and I hope it just keeps going, man. And Steve, you got one tomorrow, and best of luck.
Yeah, man.
Jeff, you're just sitting on the sideline, right?
Oh, I'm the one that's punishing him.
Midge and I'll be sitting.
Oh, Midge and Jeff are going to do it. All right, good. Take care of those.
I brought
those
pom-poms.
peppers.
No, I'm in the competition too.
I've got
Are
a
you,
fridge
Mitch?
full of-
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all
Yeah.
right, all right. Well, at least you
I'm
got
a
you got a little
kick,
you got a little
Steve's ass.
inside intel on it, man. But
He told me earlier that he was nervous.
Should I join? No, just kidding.
No, I'm very nervous.
it's
He
all
wants
right,
to
man.
I
win.
brought my
Now,
pom-poms.
if you're not nervous before a pepper eating competition, then something's wrong with
He
you,
wants
man.
to win so bad.
Well, you know what? It's all about passion. You know, you never underestimate the
Eric.
underdog. You know,
You got
So-
it in you, bud.
you got it, dude. I would never do it. I mean, look, I'm not.
I'll be
Yeah,
listening,
that's
and
not
I'm
my-
backing out.
You cats are the ones that should do it. I should just grow it because I'll eat my peppers. I'll eat my peppers with some rice and gravy and gumbo, but popping them like that and going bam, 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 man. That's why I love y'all, all of y'all, because people say during we were making the production, people were complaining. I'm not going to give a lot away, but I'll just say this: people were saying, "Oh, this freaking League of Fire stuff, what, blah, blah." And I was like, "Look, man, it's rock and roll. It's extreme, and I love the Martha Stewart freaking culinary arts, but I also like to hang with my rock and roll people, and this is totally freaking sensational." And it's interesting and it's freaking awesome. So that's my take on it, So,
Why do you think? I mean, honestly, Troy, why do you think they went from making a show about who grows the hottest pepper into it pretty much now involving chili heads?
Yeah.
why did they do it? Yeah, because everybody's fascinated with it. It's kind of like a
We're
morbid.
rock and roll. Yeah.
It's a morbid. Sometimes I think it's a morbid curiosity that human beings. It's kind of like. I'll quickly say this, and it sounds weird, but when you're going down the road and there's a wreck and everybody's looking, they want to see if there's blood or some head rolling. And though that's uncool, but there's this kind of like protective tribal, maybe psyche that we have for danger that we want to observe it, but not necessarily partake in it. But you cats partake in it. So I don't know. I'm just kind of like thinking that maybe it's a morbid curiosity. And then once you indulge in it, you get the endorphin and Keflin rush, and you get that whole runner's high, and it's just
That's
like
what I
y'all
do,
are
Thor.
all marathon
I like-
runners in my
I
opinion,
like the way it makes me feel after. I feel like
Yeah.
high. Yeah.
So
It's worth
that
the burn for me.
it's worth it. The pay to play,
Yeah, exactly.
Or-
Yeah,
I'm just crazy.
I'll just say it.
I'll
Some
write my
people-
manifesto and submit it because we know there's a long, drawn-out explanation.
Yeah.
What, me? What's that? I couldn't hear, man.
What'd she say?
I said I will write my manifesto and submit
So-
it because it's not a simple explanation.
That's all right. We can study it and scrutinize it and
Yeah.
peer review it. Unlike
Yeah,
the
I
Pepper
think
X.
it's safe
I'm
to
just-
say that a lot of us like it because of that. You know what I mean?
Alright.
I think a lot of us have our addictions. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Or have had problems in the past with it or what have you. But
Yeah,
I think
that's
a
all
lot
right.
of
That's
It's
all right.
a hobby.
I think
All
it.
right.
Well,
There's that kind of people.
Zach,
Zach.
Goot was talking about the nursing thing. I know he's wanting.
Oh,
I
yeah.
could see he's wanting me to finish the statement, but I
No, you're good, man.
no, it's kind of like that. That was the whole thing, where I got into this was because it was
Yeah,
a way
back to Troy.
No, I mean,
No, for real.
before y'all jumped in, I love just talking shit. So we can just talk about whatever. But
We're
yeah,
definitely
it doesn't
gonna
matter to
hang out,
me.
too.
But it's like, whenever I did this, it was just a consolation prize because I couldn't play music. I couldn't do the endorphin and Kevin. To keep my relationship with Kara, I couldn't, play the bars, pop the pills, and do all that. So I was like, what can I do in my backyard that's legal? I'm not going to get arrested for in Louisiana growing. So, that's what I did. And it was very naive of me to think that I would cross two peppers and end up with what I did. But, he was asking, Goot was asking, how did I get into nursing and all that? It's just because when Krishna Kasturi, our drummer, got hit by an 18-wheeler, I had to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And for a long time, I was sitting on the couch my girlfriend's couch, you know, drinking beer in my underwear, and she's like, you know, you'd be good in school, you know. I was like, school? None of my immediate family had ever gone to college. And, you know, just Cajun boy, just farmers and wage workers and such, you know. Good people though, you know. So she's just like, you know, you'd be good in school. You're pretty smart. You could do it. And she pushed me, and she, you know, set me up with a grant because I didn't have any freaking money, and we weren't married. So I ended up with a grant, and the grant like allowed a work study job. So at the university, I could find a place to work for some, you know, couple of bucks, and whoever would employ me would accommodate my schedule and let me study. It wouldn't be like you know, it was a blessing, you know, because so I ended up in Nadine Bienvenue's office, who's like the secretary of renewable resources and horticulture department, you know, like in I was just into peppers at that time, and across the hallway was this professor named Dennis Woolard, and there's this associate professor Jim Foray.
Damn you! That was one of my Nardwars. I was gonna be like, I was gonna ask you about Dennis Woolard and Jim.
Yeah,
Foray.
Woolard. Well, Wooly, you know, was a horticulturist, and I would just ask him about peppers, and I started talking about crossing and stuff, and he had some seeds from a friend that, you know, had went to Trinidad and came back and got some seeds in the market. I don't know if it's open pollinated, who knows what, old lady selling it. And he brought those seeds. I had some Naga Morch seeds I obtained from England, UK. And I was just thinking, what if I cross this? I didn't even know what crossing was. What do I combine these two? How do you do it? He's like, you have to emasculate it. You know, it's got two sexes. He went through it. So I did it, and I mean, it happened. I mean, I didn't think much of it other than, you know, I grew out this plant and these pods, and, you know, I replant and increased it. And then I sold seeds on eBay and on the Hot Pepper Forum. And it was a couple years after, I guess. And then, you know, you Google yourself like 5 years later, and it's all over the world. And then in like 2011 or 12, this Ed Curry guy comes over, and it looks like the same pepper, you know. And I don't know, man, but you know, I've been consistent with my story, and he's changed his a couple times, and I've been cordial in public. I mean, I don't hate the dude. I don't believe him, you know. I don't believe his story, but I think that, you know, I learned that over the years that drinking wine late at night and getting on, you know, freaking Facebook is not a good thing for biz in the community. You know, I mean, it will polarize things like it is kind of now, but I've learned to just stay out of it, you know. And like, I've I can't say I'm 100% out of it, but I felt obligated. What's that?
I just said you're not 100% out of the way out of it, but
no,
going
because
on and on and on about it.
Well, because you have a foot in the race. I mean,
yeah. Like, look, it's one of those things that, you know, that you have to address, and you don't know what's going on, man. You know, so as far as the insides, but I can't disclose a lot of stuff. But I will say that, you know, it's an old rivalry.
Yeah.
So, you know, I want to win. I want to be the one to be on top, but I also, and when you watch the movie, you'll see it. It's like, I want everybody to have an equal chance. And going forward, everybody in this community I can't go to LSU, USL or LSU and test my Louisiana creeper and approach Guinness and say, look, I got the world's record. I'd be expected for all of you to take seeds or powder, whatever, grow it out, go to Eurofins and have it certified by a forensics lab that's trusted with government, all kind of stuff, man. You might hate the government. Dude, these guys, Eurofins, Southwest Bio, and have it peer reviewed. And look, then you can come to me and I'll be like, you know, either it didn't happen or it happened, and I will acknowledge it. If Ed Curry does that, I will be like, dude, congratulations. If I see the data and you go to a third-party lab and do it outside of Winthrop, which is a community college that barely had, I think, a freaking, biology lab or whatever. I don't know what they have nowadays, but it's not just picking on Ed. You can look at me in the eyes if you can see them, but it's everybody involved, anybody in this community. So that's all I'm saying.
Period.
Yeah. In Gardner, whoever.
Yeah, them too. Look,
whoever.
I'll be the first to congratulate them. Anybody.
Yeah. I want there to be a top person. You know what I mean? But we all need to be playing by the same rules. Yeah,
But look, but records are meant to be broken.
Yeah.
As long as we're playing the game by the same rules.
Yeah, I'll shake fucking Mike's hand. Mike Gardner, I'll shake his hand.
I don't think what? They're those guys.
He does it,
Those cats are polarizing people too. But you know what? I just say look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm disappointed. But at the end of the day, I think when people see this production, they're gonna see that it's not a hit piece on Ed Curry. It's a freaking celebration of the pepper community. It's a celebration of passion and love, and that it's my story, and that I worked my ass off. And I just want people to enjoy what I do, and I want to be able to keep doing it. And that's it. I'm serious. So I just got to keep my mouth shut when the trolls come and all that stuff, Ed's good about it. He's a good marketing guy because he stays out of the shit. You notice that? He's like, he stays out. He doesn't talk.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And
he's getting what he needs. He don't have no reason.
No, he doesn't talk, man. And look, I'm cool.
Tom does the talking for him.
Tom wrote me tonight. Apologized for what he said earlier, in the forums and stuff. I don't remember telling him that I thought that the Primo and Reaper were the same thing. If I did tell him that, it was because I was drunk and I thought that I was talking about a phenotypical variance. Like two peppers of the same origin. I believe those two peppers came from the same origin somehow. And there's a fork in the road. One person grew their shit out, with love, and like Gary and I, with a lot of diligence. And the other person, I don't know what they did, but that's how I grew my pepper out. And if you grow peppers, you'll know that two different growers can grow the same variety year after year and do different selective breeding. They'll select for different attributes. So that's my take. We can agree to disagree on it, but I've kind of like moved on from it. But now you got Pepper X and people are going to wonder about that. I will say this is what's going to happen. It's going to be interesting. And I don't have a dog in the race anymore.
Yeah, you do.
Well, talk to Guinness.
I want to say what you're going to say.
Let me finish this. It's going to be interesting for the community. And this is all factual stuff. When you look at all the trademarks he's captured for Pepper X.
So lame.
There's a lot. And they're expensive. They're expensive.
I want to get into that.
There's like they're $400 or $500 a pop. Even if you have a lawyer, I have lawyers in-house that are doing, things for me for trademarking because I've largely ignored it over the years. It's expensive. They've captured a lot of trademarks. So if you think you're going to prostitute the Reaper like you did, all these hot sauce companies, and put out that product and call it the Reaper without paying Ed Curry on this next one, you're in for it. If you do Pepper X and you sell seeds, or you call your product Pepper X,
you're
get litigated on.
Lawyer, yeah.
That's a fact.
So hey, let's get into that. What do you think?
Yeah.
What do you think about spicy gatekeeping? What do you think about this?
All right. I empathize with. In one way, I empathize with Ed on that.
I'll just say it. I think it's fucked. It's spicy gatekeeping, man. I think it's bullshit.
So here's my thoughts on it. I'm not a Monsanto kind of guy, right? It'd be nice to have a gene marker in there for selective litigation, but not, I haven't tried to litigate against Jersey Barnfire or anybody else has a Buc-ee's as a 7-pot Primo sauce.
Yeah.
I believe it furthers the name. It kind of perpetuates what I do. I'm the underdog, but it allows it to get out there, man. Because if I would have litigated from the day one I released that pepper, we wouldn't be talking right now. It wouldn't have reached the world, because this was going to happen. He's going to, if he does that and kind of tries to be that way with Pepper X, the free markets are going to find an alternative. I just don't think everybody could do it financially. No, I don't know his price point or what he's selling it for. I'm just saying, I don't believe in constricting the pepper. Like, what was the word you said, Brandon?
Spicy gatekeeping.
Spicy gatekeeping. I don't believe in it.
Yeah, I think it's bullshit too, man.
Look, I got
at least do what you did with like Home Depot, where you can buy the Ed Curry Carolina Reaper. You know what I mean? Like, do it that way at least. Like, fuck, make it $50. It's like, whatever. You can make whatever price point you want, but release it to the fucking community, because there's people that want the hottest shit. You know what I mean?
I think I don't think you're gonna see seeds or anything.
No, not for a couple years, or whatever.
It's gonna, and I empathize with him, because I know that, he doesn't have a trademark on Reaper or Carolina Reaper, and a lot of people use his products, and he wants to make some money and feed his family and all that. But on the flip side of things, I don't know. We'll see where that goes for him. I mean, it's not my thing. It's not in my control. I'm just giving you my opinion, what I would do and what I won't do.
Yeah,
and I wouldn't do it.
We're all just men. We're all just humans living life. I respect him. He's making all the decisions that I would make. They're smart business decisions.
If I give anything to Ed Curry, I can't say it's horticulturally. I think he's a great marketing business genius.
He's a good businessman.
But that's just my take, man. Yeah. And I got a lot of other stuff I can't talk about. That would open a shit ton of worms and firsthand information. But I'm not going to go there. All right.
I do know
that's the controversial stuff for tonight. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
So I do know that you did recently get a few peppers tested in a lab. I mean, that part at least is true.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay. Now.
And they did really well.
Yeah. We're not
That says hi.
numbers tonight, so if you guys, I apologize if you're thinking you're gonna get numbers and stuff, but. Just to reassure you guys' minds and hearts that there are peppers being tested and
all the time.
Look.
Just because the Pepper X tested out at 2.69 by some rinky-dink bio lab in a fucking community college doesn't mean that I mean, it's just how it is, man.
Look, that's a high number for mustard pod, but this is the question I would pose to the community, because Tom showed some pictures of a mustard pod, a red pod, and a chocolate pod. And they don't look like the big mustard mama or the big Bayou, big black mama or whatever. They're different look. They look more like a beast or one of Matthew Arthur's peppers. But that's changed. I don't know how it changed that quick. Unless those other peppers in the past were just photo op peppers. And now, I don't know. Which one? The question is, which one did he test? Did he test the mustard pod? Is that the one he's showing, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Does the mash change? Does it become an ambiguity of the pepper? Like, which one is the Pepper X as a record? That's the question.
That's 3 different variants. Yeah.
I don't know. The chocolate and the reds would score higher than mustard, in my opinion. But
that chocolate, I'm not gonna lie, chocolate Primo has whooped everybody's ass that's ever eaten it.
I never had it. People think like. There was a guy commenting that I named my pepper 3 times or whatever. Dude, I never created the Primo Tali. It's like I'm the grandfather of it, It's like, that's all there is to it.
For the people out there that are wondering, Troy actually was the first Northern American to be sold the Nagamort peppers.
Yeah, that's true.
He bought 10 of these seeds for $40. And he brought them back.
My girlfriend at the time thought I was nuts.
That's where it got you, man.
Is it unbearable?
Yep.
So
Well, I
he
didn't think.
ended up crossbreeding the Nagamoric with the Trinidad 7-plot. Then that makes you got your 7-plot Primo. And then someone came along, I'm not sure who. You had a hand in it with your 7-plot Primo. They took that 7-plot Primo and the Fatale Pepper. They put those two together. They fucked, and they came out with the Primatale. So the
That's it.
Primatale then gets released, and now we're getting all these different variants of chocolate Primatale, mustard Primatale, all this stuff. So, I mean, it's just kind of taken off from there. But
Yeah.
it's just kind of been a long time coming since you've actually planted your very first pepper plant in 2004. You're coming up on 20 years.
Yeah, about
buddy.
2000. Yeah, maybe 4 or 5. Something like that. Yeah, it's been a while, and I don't know, man. I never tried to just like, let's do this and make some money. Money it's not like I'm banking anyway, but back then money was just to buy some ramen noodles and fix our teeth, because Kara and I were living in the hood in a rent house, and though we had parents that weren't rich but would help us, but we weren't like, I mean, money wasn't the motivator, and it still isn't. I'd probably be more successful, to be honest with you. It's like I give more away than I take, and that's okay, man. I mean, I hope people see. I hope people. What's that?
I said that is okay.
I can't hear what you say.
She said that is okay.
Yeah. That's all right. I mean, that's the way we should be. But I mean, it's all right to be a capitalist and all that too.
Sorry, Annie.
It's okay. It's true.
But
So I want to.
I'd rather sleep at night.
Yeah,
What I'm gonna do here is there's a couple things I want to pop up on the screen, and we're gonna go into a little bit about them if you don't mind, buddy.
Do it.
All right, buddy. So real quick, guys, just these are just little fallbacks of the rock and roll Troy. Look at him go. This is him playing his guitar. People always wondering what he might look like with his guitar.
That's with Slash.
That's with Slash.
Oh, that's Slash. Yeah. Hard to
That's
recognize him without his hair in his face,
Well,
No,
I look like a little freaking nerd there, but man, it's like that was like 97. I looked like I was in the 80s with those 80s glasses.
And we're rocking out here.
Well, I didn't remember that one. Yeah, okay,
We're
okay.
rocking out there.
This was after Santeria. This is kind of like when we were doing Hoot Night stuff, and I had the White Falcon.
Yeah.
And it's a good guitar, and had fun with it. But
All right. So as we've been talking, just a couple more things I want to pop up. Hey, and by the way, if I know I did promise Sonny Spicer if he wanted to jump in and join us.
Yeah, have him jump in, man.
Yeah, he's more. If you're watching, Sonny, you're more than welcome, man. I sent you the link. Come on, jump on in, buddy. But real quick, man.
Did you forget about that one?
Yeah, that's it, man.
Ladies and gentlemen.
That's it.
There he is. Hey, hold it up again, buddy.
That's the big hair,
looking like Eric Clapton from Cream.
Yeah, like Jack Bruce, Eric Clapton.
Yeah.
It's a good rock and roll, man. I think it's like swampadelic southern rock.
I love it, man.
I was listening to Santeria yesterday. I was like,
better. We've been talking about her this whole time. You look good holding the guitar, but you look even better holding this woman right here.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, so that's Kara. That's your wife. And
we're
talking a little bit about her, but
that was on Cannon Beach. That was we got married in Cannon Beach just for the shits of it, because she didn't necessarily care to have a big Cajun, big church wedding. So we went out there and got married on the beach with a officiant, and a witness, and
but his mustache was still orange.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still got that was 2011. So but we were together since 2002 or something. But it's like we got married out there and careened through Willamette and drank a lot of wine, had good food, and spent the money on the memory, and came back home and had a party for the family. But I was just happy to. I put my dad's ashes. My dad died of cancer, and I brought him. He's the only one that came on the trip with us, in my suitcase. And I went down to Manzanita Bay and put his ashes in the Pacific, and cried like a baby. And so Yeah, Daddy Primo somewhere out there now, man.
Yeah. Well, hey, man.
Yeah.
We are actually, if real quick, since it's a perfect time to plug this, coming up on November 4th, guys, we got Fight Cancer with Capsaicin, 24-hour live stream fundraiser. We're going to have pepper eating, chili head guests, hot sauce reviews, giveaways, challenges, and much more. We're going to be going live for 24 hours straight here on the Texas
forward to
Hotspot.
that, Zach. Me and you, bud.
Yeah, we're going to be doing it. Midge is always welcome to pop in also.
Good,
so
man.
We do feel you on that. So now that we're talking about Cara,
Hey, Goose.
and I want to get into who she is, the farmer's daughter. Let's talk about these things right here, buddy.
Yeah, man, I got stuck making that shit. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
so-
No. The fig habanero. Hey,
No.
that is busting.
No, it's awesome. I'm just saying, I got stuck
So
making. I
good.
want to make hot sauce, but you know, I got stuck making the jelly because it's so good. And
so
that,
good.
that's the first thing we did, you know. But after me, you know, making the pepper, the Primo pepper, we didn't put it in that, you know. So we got a new one. Well, it hadn't came out, but it's a Primo. Did I send you some, Jeff? I think I did. Orange, Primo orange, man.
Primo
Yeah.
orange.
Yeah, the orange
Yeah.
jelly. Yeah,
Yeah.
that one was really good.
Yeah, the orange,
This one's better. Can't see.
the citrus spice.
No,
right?
this one's. I'm dropping something that no
Oh,
one
it's
knows
so
about.
good.
man.
I ate the whole thing.
Oh,
I chugged
you
it.
heard it. You heard
Now,
it here first, ladies and
Jeff,
gentlemen.
Jeff buys. You know, it's like a lot of people buy stuff. You know, and that's great. I love it. I usually always try if I have something on hand that's R&D and I respect the person. I throw it in there and just like, what do you think? You know, and
Oh, yeah.
I know he's
Absolutely.
he's a straight up dude, and he would tell me what he thought. You know.
Same thing with the Burlance, Brownie Boy and Michelle. They love to.
Yeah. Look, Michelle wanted some. I was like, it's not available yet, you know. And I gotta send him some Primo Army. I kind of.
Yep.
I'm the one armed army here in Lafayette, and that's about to change. I got some, you know, building a facility and all that, but you know, I'm taking care of the wholesale. I got, you know, old Agnes on the record to do it, want to do it, and Dylan from you know, Heat Hot Sauce Shop getting a bunch, and other than that, man, I hadn't heard radio silence from the other people, but you know,
Yeah.
We can't keep your jams in stock.
oh, awesome, man. Well, we'll have to send
Yeah.
you some more, man. You know,
Yeah.
and when
They
I
go
do
on
the
all-
next.
All the
Go ahead.
charcuterie boards get it. We love it.
Yeah.
That's the best way to do it, you know. A lazy night, if you're doing charcuterie or fromage, you know, and you got a board and you got some wine. You don't have to have
Yeah.
wine, but wine makes it better. And
Omelette de fromage.
so I could talk for 3 hours, 4 hours.
No, we're gonna start wrapping it up here. So only a couple.
No,
more things.
I like to talk, but I mean,
Okay,
I'm
cool,
going to feel
because I
bad
do got
that
a
y'all are
couple
all
more
gone.
things.
man.
I do got a couple more things I do want to go over with you, man. And we went over that. Let's start talking about these sauces, man. Primo Army. What's the inspiration behind this bad boy?
You know, everybody thought the Swampadelic was hot. They wanted something hotter. And I wanted something that was hotter, but yet not mash in a bottle. Not just it. To me, it had to have salt. It had to have some. I couldn't do something Primo without some Cajun seasonings of sort. You know, it's not a lot. It's supplemental. You know, like the Swampadelic's definitely heavier on the Cajun vibe. This is just the peppers cutting through. It's twice as much mash in the recipe. There you go, buddy. Thank you, man. And you know, so it's got a kick. I think you cats will be like, I wish it was hot. I don't know, it's pretty hot, but
I'll tell you, I'm a kind of a.
well,
puss,
I think you can. No, you're freaking. You know, you guys. It's like you can make anything really hot. It's making it taste good and be hot.
Making it taste good.
I'd rather
And
it
now that
taste
you
good and be
mentioned
hot.
that, now that you mentioned making it taste good, I want to move on to my second thing I want to talk about right here, buddy. Premonition.
That is
Woo!
my favorite, probably my favorite sauce that we
This-
do. You know?
So
This
good.
sauce right here will go down as my one, dude.
Annie
it's
likes
not
it.
the
Annie
best
got a
sauce
bunch
I
of
ever
recently.
had. Definitely top 3 sauce.
I ordered it by
I've
the
ever
half dozen.
You did. She bought a shitload of it, and I thank you very much, man.
Hey,
You know,
look,
look, that's a labor of love because look, I've been approached to co-pack it, but co-packers don't want to do it like I do it. You know,
Did you
it's
just
like
drink that, Brandon?
like I do it. You know,
Did you
it's
just
like
drink that, Brandon?
And I heard you say that.
So I got this like I don't know, a couple days ago.
you drink. You get. Oh, it's done. It's done.
Like 3 days ago.
yeah, it's
it's
done.
pretty
Yeah, I
much
should have
done.
sent you more, man. I'll send
So
you some.
good.
I only got a little left.
I got to do an XXX run before Christmas, and I'm about to do another premonition run. Y'all remind me. You'll remind me. I'll hook y'all
That's
up.
hot.
Dude. Remind me.
That is hot. I'm not gonna lie.
It's hot. All right.
Yeah, that's hot.
I gave it a break for about. I finished a bottle in a week, and I gave myself a break. Yeah, man. No. I didn't think. I guess my tolerance was high, but it. I was just like, I need to give myself a break. I'm working on other R&D. I don't like my. It changes your taste of things and stuff sometimes. But I really don't give a shit about it. I just like that y'all like it. It's like I just John Hart told me.
Though you're right, it doesn't just taste like pepper mash.
No, and I put stuff in to try to. I put the sweetness in to counteract the bitterness that comes from more mash. Even though the mash that we're growing, 37 acres, and that's a whole discussion we could talk about.
A lot of peppers.
And Popeyes fried chicken, all kinds of things.
All right, so speaking of Popeye's fried chicken, guys, if you guys didn't know, Troy Primo, he actually kind of got with Popeye's fried chicken, and they kind of came up with this thing. If you just watch this clip, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
New Orleans is the best.
Sure is. It's what makes Popeyes Popeyes. Want to try my latest? Popeyes new Primo Pepper Tenders with a pinch of Louisiana's hottest pepper. Get all this for $5.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
So let's talk about that, Troy. How'd you partner up with Popeyes?
That's awesome.
Thank you. Well, I met him I had a Cajun Clint Eastwood, friend of mine that just a real Cajun guy, real thick accent. And he's like, hey, bro, what you doing tomorrow, T? And I was like, well, I'm at work. He's like, man, I'd like to bring somebody to your garden, bro. And I'm like, who? He's like, the McElhenley CEOs and Popeye CEOs. And I'm like, whoa. All right, so why do you my little garden looks like showing my dirty underwear or something, but even though I'm a horticulturist, this is my little garden. But anyway, they came over and it was love. They loved it. They loved the passion. They invited us to a party out at Avery Island, and we drank a lot of wine. I brought all the products, and I brought a bunch of pepper powder, and they really liked it, and they were like, "What can we?" we want to do something with it. And I'm like, they want 1,000 pounds of it. So I'm like, my little dehydrator won't go that fast.
It's like divided by 9 basically for wet, right? Or something
about
like
10 to 1, 9 to 1. Yeah, about that.
Yeah, something like that. That's a lot.
Yeah, that's like 10,000 pounds.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I calculated 5 pounds per plant at 2,000 plants. And no one wanted to pick them. LSU dropped the ball on the dehydrators. So fast forward, David Foy and Johnny Scoville. I've always been friends with those guys. But David and Johnny write me. It's like, hey, you got some seeds? And I'm like, yeah. What you need? He's like 500 to 1,000. I was like, okay. What you doing with them? He's like, well, this is a place in South America that grows peppers that are good family operation. I think that would help you out. And I was like, well, I want to stay in the States, and I tried to do it, but it didn't work out. But and they knew the Popeyes thing, so could happen. And in short, I gave them the seeds and thought, just like I had a lot of people tell me, oh, I got somebody in South America, I got a friend there, I got a friend in Honduras, and like whatever. So in the meantime, we're having Hudson. Like our child. And all of a sudden, David Foy starts sending pictures, of these like fields of Primos. And I'm like, man, what you get me into? And he's like, no, dude, who does things altruistically? Because I had those doubts. Even with Johnny, and Johnny will say it, even with Johnny and David, I'm like, look, what the frick are you doing this for? And they're like, for you. so you can do it. I mean, it'd be great to get a good source of powder, at cost or whatever, but for you. And I'll be damned. Then they give me the keys to the car, and I've got exclusive grow of 37 acres down there right now.
Damn,
so
nice.
I can make it happen. And what you have in that bottle of Primo Army is the first of that batch,
Wow.
So
That's
wicked hot.
So that's what the community should do for each other.
But yeah,
what did she say? I can't hear.
Not only
I said I love that story.
Thank you. Awesome.
So not only can you get a bottle of Primo Army when you go visit Primo's Peppers, which is down there, you can also get one of these. This is a nice bag of 7-pot Primo Pow. He sells them in bags.
It's pretty hot. It's pretty hot.
And it's very hot.
It's pretty hot. I think it's like our co-packer Adam and Endorphin that does the Swampadelic and the Primo Army. He's like, man, that's freaking the hottest mash and powder I've had. As far as Primo's 7-pot Primo. So, I mean, it's all sustainable, farm to table, small batch, equal trade. They check off all the boxes. And if God forbid, not God forbid, but God willing, God willing, we God willing, Johnny and I get to go down there. I'd love to just fly in there and just hang out. We'll see what happens.
Hey, I can order some of that powder from Puckered Butt as well, I believe.
You should, man.
You can have a different name though, right?
No, you just order it and just do a comparative analysis of what you think's the best, and then you can be happy in your own regard, and live and let live.
Well, I think
when I order it, leave it. Let me get some of that 7-pot powder.
So we've been talking about it all night, man. Let's talk about this one.
The Swampadelic. Well, that was the first one because I met a few characters at the Lafayette, hot sauce festival in like 2014 or so, 13. We were selling the jellies. We had like low rent bottles. Are you going for it, or what are you doing here, man?
Yeah, he's gonna try it out. We're talking about it. He's gonna try it out.
I'll shut up. Let you do it.
This is Swampadelic. Oh, nice.
It's still got some heat. It's got more heat, I think, than usual. But the mash, the new mash.
Oh man! All right, that's gonna be gone pretty quick.
Is it Swampadelic, dude?
It's a little milder. Like more Cajun vibe.
A lot more manageable.
It's got ahi panka in it because John Hard. All right, so this is the story.
John Hard is the man.
Yeah. John and I did that together basically. So what happened was, I did the show. I was selling jelly. Next to me is Bravado. They just started out kind of. And I met Butch T at that show. I met Jim Duffy at that show. I met Gary. That's a grower from me, Gary Montcalm at that show. Yeah. I met Chris Dennis. Who else I met, man? Oh, I met Ed Curry. I met Ed Curry at that show. So I met Ed at that show. We all kind of like, hung out, and and John Hard met John Hard at that show. So John comes up to me and John says, "We should do a sauce." I was like, "Well, I got a recipe, and it calls for smoked peppers." And he's like, "Well, what can we do, for the smoke thing?" And I'm thinking, ahi panka is kind of smoky. I suggested that. And then I wanted to do the Cajun seasoning, and that was my thing. And he's like, I got a good ratio on the vinegar to water. That was better than yours. So we just did it because I've always been transparent with sauces. And the premonition was done all by us. And the Primo Army all by us. The jelly's all by us. But I'm not opposed, with like Adam and Endorphin, saying, Adam, I got a good chorus. I got a good verse. I need an intro. I need a solo. I need a little help. Or maybe I need a chorus. And give credit where credit's due, man. So that's what we did. And Swampadelic was born. And then it's kind of won multiple awards, and people love it. And I'm honored. That John and I connected on that. John's into production. he came down to Cajun Country with us and hung out, and he's in the movie. He's the Godfather. So, there's a lot of love in the community, and there's some bumps in the road, but if I have to sleep at night, it's telling all of you that we should focus despite all this Pepper X Primo Reaper stuff. I know. Look at me. I'd rather not deal with it. So let's just love. And you know what? When I was on camera recently, they asked me, what do you want to be known as? And I just said, I just want to be known as someone who's loved, a nice guy and someone who's loved,
And I think you've already gotten there, buddy. Everybody, I haven't heard one bad thing about you. And as a matter of fact, I've actually gotten to hang out with you in person, and everything was exactly how I.
That was a good time at an Italian restaurant.
Yeah. So I do have I got some pictures of that. I posted.
What was that thing that we ate, man? That was that
mozzarella
Brandon, that big
thing?
Yeah, that was good, man.
Oh,
there we are right there. If you look closely, there we are right there at dinner.
That was great. Before you say that, Good, I know I'm running over, but the only thing that was bad, the only thing bad about that whole experience was it was too short.
Yeah.
You guys, I wasn't involved. I can't talk a lot, but I wasn't involved in what y'all were involved in. But y'all were staying in the same place. Yeah. So I just got to, get the last night, that speed date. It was you guys.
It was a great time.
But I want to do more of it in the future.
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. We'll definitely make sure that we get up together again. I will say that when we had dinner that night, Troy Primo did order this appetizer. There was a mozzarella ball that was filled with mozzarella balls.
It was amazing.
It
delicious.
Came with a little bit of charcuterie meat with it, some cheeses.
Bread.
And at the end of dinner, I was like, I'll get the appetizer.
You did, dude. Thank you for it.
$60 appetizer.
Was it 60? Was it? No way. It was 60?
Yeah.
What the hell they put in that thing, man?
I don't know.
Gold.
Some gold. It's like Goldschlager or something, man.
It was delicious, though, man. We ate that shit up.
All right, dude. I owe you one for that.
Oh, yeah. No, it's all good, man. It was my pleasure. We had such a good time.
So let me tell you this last story. I have to censor it really good, not to violate any NDAs, but I think Brian Scope would be happy about it. But when Brian Scope was talking to me about signing up for the production that's coming out, and I was sitting in the parking lot, and I wasn't drinking anything. Yeah, I was. Maybe I wasn't. But I was sitting in the parking lot talking to him for several hours, and he said, other than like I could do this whole thing and it would be great, but it won't have the same soul as what you and your family have to offer.
Yeah.
But also, he told me about your shot, Goot.
Yeah.
And he storyboarded it, word for word, every angle, everything would happen.
Yeah.
And I said, wow, okay, this is going to be different. This is not some fucking reality thing. This is a movie. This is amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. With some creative input, artistic creative input.
Absolutely. Yeah. A lot of
and I'm like, sign me up. A
lot of people don't know it wasn't just, I'm not going to give too much away either.
Yeah.
That we did
the story of like a whole community.
People love it. They all love it.
It's about everything. It's about the spicy community. It's about the friendships. It's about, it's going to hit emotionally. People are going to cry. People are going to laugh.
They're going to cry.
I will say that it wasn't just a film crew following us around. No. There were scripts that were written that I had to rehearse.
Right.
This was put together with thought and a process, and I actually got to become a Hollywood actor for a few months.
Yeah. Not say like they made you do something you wouldn't do, but it's like with me, it's like there would be like kind of like you interviewing me. What do you think about this? And what's this angle?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, and you know, I was already
Very
doing
good.
the wrecking crew, man. You know, that's tomorrow. I can't stop without my guys. Those guys submitted peppers for the festival tomorrow that are amazing.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick, Troy. Get into your wrecking crew. Let's
Yeah, man. Like, dude, I mean, there's tons of them. You know, there's Brent Rutherford, Brian Seal, there's Bob, there's who else you got in here, man?
Is Deathridge a part of your crew?
Deathridge, yeah, Jacob.
Yeah,
and
he's
make
a
sure
hell
I'm
of a
missing
guy.
one.
Sonny, I told
Jacob's
Spicer,
awesome. Jacob's with us in the
Garrett.
production. Jacob's in the production with us. So
He's a good dude, man.
So I'm probably missing people because I'm blanking out because it's like a revolving cast of characters, you know, like Queens of the Stone Age, different musicians, different stuff. But League of Fire, Paul and Shahina needed pods many years ago, a couple of years ago at least, and way before a movie was conceived, and they wanted pods, and I was able to, you know, broker them for them with friends, and they're like, let's call it Primo's Peppers. Like, no, I don't want to do that, man. You know, these guys need some. I like came up with a name, Wrecking Crew, at the top of my head, and it became this entity, you know. So anybody that wants to be a part of it to help the community, it's like, it's not to give Primo accolades. I want to give them accolades. We submitted pictures,
synonymous with
you know,
pain too. Like,
yeah,
Wrecking Crew. I'm like, oh man, this is gonna hurt.
Yeah, maybe that's why there's 6 signed up for the competition. I was thinking maybe the repetition's getting out, you know, repetition. But so those guys, you know, are doing this, and it's at the end of the season right now. So it's all a lick and a promise, and we'll see what we got. And Midge has them, and Jeff, I guess you're gonna be involved in that, right?
Jeff will be the one handing them out, so Jeff's gonna just have a big smile on his face.
All right, Jeff, take a lot of pictures, please, for me, all y'all, and hopefully I'll get, you know, and best of luck. Annie was a participant in the last one, I believe, or second to last one, and congratulations, because you went way farther than I thought you did. And women have a high tolerance for pain.
Way further than I thought I would.
What's that?
They're all lucky I'm not competing.
I said I went way farther than I thought I would.
Yeah, well, that's good. Keep it humble.
She did,
you know?
yeah, you killed it.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't seen that yet, please go back and check out the Baltimore, Maryland belt match. Reaper Teacher put on a hell of a show.
Yeah,
and
right on,
successfully
man.
took on that belt. We got Midge coming up this weekend taking on a belt match, and then I got me next weekend taking on a belt match here in Texas. So
hey, you know, let's do it, man. You gotta tell me about that. When's the Texas one going on?
The 28th, October 28th.
I don't know. He might have some leftovers from that if he can keep them alive in the freezer or something.
Oh, I think we're going with Lone Star Mastiff Farms. They grew some peppers. Thankfully, I don't have to eat the Primo's Wrecking Crew peppers.
Oh, that's why they hadn't hit me up. Okay, good.
Yeah, so thankfully
I think that was a shout out to Primo's Wrecking Crew.
Oh yeah,
right on.
Huge shout out.
Jacob.
I will say I did take part in a competition with Wrecking Crew peppers, and
I forgot. There's a
fucked me up.
new Wrecking Crew member, Bruce Smith, the pastor of Payne Smith. He supplied some stuff.
Master Burn.
Yeah, I wish I could flip to my list of who's submitting because it changes. But I will say this: everybody asks me what's the world's hottest pepper.
What is the world's hottest pepper, Troy?
I'm going to tell you what Jimi Hendrix told someone when they asked him if he was the world's best guitarist. He said, "No, I'm not. It's some old black man you've never met on a porch somewhere."
Yeah.
I don't think anybody has seen the world's hottest pepper.
Not yet.
Not yet.
More to come.
But even if the Pepper X is it, trust me. There's one coming. There's somebody is coming. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway.
Ed Curry is not untouchable, and he is not immortal.
No one is in life. No one is. You know, so
No, I mean, I do respect the man himself. I respect him for getting his Guinness Achievement Award. But you know, good for him. Good for Pepper Company for getting the media coverage they need. But all I can say is just wait for the show to come out, and you'll see what the true meaning of camaraderie and brotherhood and community is.
Yeah, you know, that's a big thing. You know, you don't see Ed Curry wearing, you know, a Pepperfield Dreams shirt or buying Gatorade from Zach or, you know, supporting Midge's, you know, Creature Sauce, getting a Chupacabra chug, you know.
He doesn't even know who I am.
Yeah, exactly. I'd rather support somebody that was in it with us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Dude, do you know that? You know this guy, Goldie?
Oh yeah, we know Goldie.
Yeah,
Goldie. Yeah, Goldie, man. He's got a good sauce too. He's like
like it's about community, and if you don't have that, then, bro, like that's why I got into it. The community sucked me in. You know what I mean? And I wouldn't give it up. I wouldn't give it up.
That's why. But despite my rant earlier, I don't want people to label me as this punk, sore losing punk. I just want our best for the community, and I will ghost the conversation in that regard going forward, and just see what happens. Because I just put it out there, man. I had to put one post. I put it out there, and then, you know, that's it. You know, so otherwise, I hope everybody just freaking lives long and prospers, man. You know, there's a lot of other shit going on that, you know, we can't control, you know, in the world. But what we can control is our family. Just control, meaning around us, our love of family, friends, community. And that's what holds you together. That's the glue that holds everything together. Now, that doesn't mean the family don't fight and you have disagreements and stuff, but, you know, hopefully there's less disagreements and there's more love, you know. So, I'm like I said, unbiased. I'm disappointed. Buttercup, Ryan?
Yeah.
I thought you talking about Ryan.
Ryan and Lee.
Ryan's a good dude, man. Look, Ryan and Lee, I met them in the production, and I didn't know who they were because, trust me, I didn't know all the League of Fire peeps and stuff. I knew some people from Facebook, but sweethearts, man. You know, really good people. And I met like you two cats. I met, you know, Annie. We didn't get to meet, but you were in the same building as I was. But
yes,
you know,
you probably walked right through my aura.
Yeah, I did. I was right around there, but I passed out. So, you know, but you know, we kind of like, that's what it's about. We're a hug. I say Cajuns are a hug culture. You know, it's like
Sonny's got it. Ryan's a little off.
Sonny's here. Ryan's
awesome. So if you guys didn't know, Ryan's my brother-in-law, and he's an awesome guy. We love him very much.
Is he your brother-in-law? You're just messing around.
And
not Ryan Baumgartner, a different Ryan.
Roger different Ryan. I thought you meant Baumgartner.
Oh, hey,
Roger Trier's in the house from Hot Dang Show. What's going on, Roger? That's an unfamiliar face. We don't see him around here often. But I guess the Troy Primo episode must have pulled him in here. I actually don't even believe we're friends on Facebook anymore. We were at one point, but not anymore.
I don't think there's a lot of
either.
Isn't he usually backstage?
Yeah, he's usually backstage, but we don't have time for him to come.
What's the backstage? What's the backstage, man?
Well, yeah, we got a couple people. Sometimes when we're doing the show, there's a backstage of people waiting to come on, and sometimes we don't have time for them, so we don't let them on.
Oh, all right, got you. Because I know we're backstage is where the fun happens, man.
We would love to have Roger on the show, but we've.
Yeah, Ryan's I see. Don't fear the Reaper, he says.
But no, it's good to have him on. We love you, Roger. Keep doing your thing over there, Hot Dang Show. You do, we inspiration to a lot of people over there. So we do love you, Roger. Yeah, good. It's good to see you, buddy.
Cool, man.
Honestly.
Well, man, let me know if you have any questions. I know we ran over, but I could talk
no,
till.
we didn't run over, bro. We can go as long. I do have one more.
I'll keep going. Look, dude, I could talk till 12.
I do have one more pretty big question I want to talk to you about, man.
Right.
Because I
Shoot.
don't know if you know this about me, but I actually did go to culinary school, and I'm a trained culinarian.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I am a trained chef in the French
Paris.
cuisine. I went to Le Cordon Bleu in
Paris?
Paris.
Whoa.
Paris,
Paris, Texas. No,
that must be your big joke, huh?
That's a joke. Yeah.
That's
so
his joke.
I actually did study French cuisine. My majored in French cuisine. I do have a degree.
You know more than I do, man.
So I just wanted to ask you, man, as a man who had a chance to actually sit with the legend Anthony Bourdain himself.
Oh, that was awesome.
How was that experience, Troy?
All right, so
Lucky.
the same guy that turned me on to Popeyes and all, and McElhaney, Toby Rodriguez. He texted me one night and he says, "Let me make sure my phone's on. I got 2% on this phone. I might have to go to no wait. Let's go to
We're about to end it, man. After this.
I'll just go to speaker, man. Hold on.
All right, go ahead.
Hold on, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Just talk real loud because I'm deaf, man. So
yeah, I can hear you just fine.
Can you? All right, good.
Yeah.
I put it on the chart. So Toby Rodriguez says, "Hey, man, what you doing Saturday night?" I was like, "Oh, man, I don't know. We didn't have Hudson at the time." He's like, "I got something going on." He says, "No, what are you doing Saturday night? You want to meet Bourdain?" And I'm like, "Fucking hey, let's do it," And so they were filming a Parts Unknown episode called Mardi Gras down here. And, we went out. It was out at Toby's place where we've done a lot of boucheries where it's kind of like a Cajun Woodstock, 3 days of smoking, drinking with people all over, chefs from all over the region and the world coming down. And, they kill a pig, sometimes some other animals. And that's unfortunate for PETA's sake. But, you got to know where your food comes from sometimes. It was different for me in that regard. It was a little different because my dad never took me hunting. But anyway, so Bourdain shows up, and it was raining a lot. The mud was knee deep, everywhere. They had an event rental tent up. I had buddies, Curtis Louvier, Big Lou, making a gumbo, and there was oysters being shucked. They had different stations kind of set up for him. And he showed up looking very old and tired, man, and they said, "Oh, he just done Taekwondo," but he looked really old. They had producers were around him. It started raining. We went under a Cajun porch, Toby's porch. And there was a couple of girls there that were wearing raincoats, bright yellow raincoats that no one has. So I figured they were production. And one of the girls, her name turned out to be Anna Calderon, which was the editor for People magazine. And she's just talking about Tony's love for Popeye's chicken, and like he was staying at the Hilton, the DoubleTree down the way from my house, coincidentally now, and walking to Popeye's, which was the only Popeye's that still had a buffet, and he would go every day and eat it. And I never saw him walk that. I would blew my mind, It's like right by my house. But anyway, so she says, I did an article with Popeyes. I'm following them around. I'm writing this for people. And Tony loves Popeyes fried chicken. And I was like, well, I'm kind of working with Popeyes on something that I told y'all about earlier. And she goes, oh, cool. You should go talk to Tony about that. So that was my end. Tony was sitting. Everybody was cheesed up, not talking to him. And smoking a cigarette and drinking a beer. And I just walked up to him and said, hey, Tony Bourdain, Troy Primo, nice to meet you. Shook his hand, and we talked for 45 minutes or so about peppers, spiciest freaking meals he's had. And I told him about the Ed Curry controversy and my belief in all that. He was enthralled by everything. And I even said, man, we need to get an investigative journalist on this. Maybe Geraldo. I didn't know he had a beef with Geraldo. I was just joking. Like Geraldo looking for the gold or whatever, you know. So he goes, "Fuck Geraldo, man. You know that dude or whatever." And I said, "No, I'm just joking, man." He's like, "Nah, cool, man." So his spiciest meals were a hot chicken in Nashville, and then a Szechuan in Szechuan Providence. But he said he doesn't typically eat super hot because he can't film for like 2 days after. It fucks his guts up. But we hung out, man. I never asked for a picture, an autograph, and because I didn't want to be that dude. I just want to take it all in, you know.
Yeah.
Treat him like a human being,
That's the way
and
I
talk
do
to
it.
him. And just like I did with Slash, just cool out. And people were asking me to take pictures of him at some point, and he went through all the stations and had a Cajun band playing like freaking Lost Bayou Ramblers is like a Cajun Led Zeppelin, man. And they were like rocking, knee-deep mud under the vent tent. And when they broke it down at the end, like the band turned into like a New Orleans funeral, like second line, where the drummer pulled off his tom-tom. He's marching with it. The guitarist had a little side amp like on his belt, you know, and the lead singer is playing a fiddle on a dude's back with a beer, like for a hat. He's got his beer freaking like case, you know, on him, Budweiser, or whatever. Dude. And they proceed, whatever you call it, paraded around the fire, you know, and we're having a bonfire. And Bourdain comes up to me on the side, and there's a couple ice chests because there had a few local breweries, you know, submitting, you know, free beer, you know, and sponsored. So he grabs a beer, and it's kind of everything's melted, and there's this tall boy, and he's like, "Man, you got a bottle opener?" And I said, "Yeah." It was all stripped out, and I was like, "Man, give it." I went up to this barbecue pit and opened it for him, you know, pop. And I gave it to him. He's like, "Thanks, dude." And he laughed. And we watched the band. And then at some point, he made a French exit. And I was like, "Oh, I'll catch him next time." You know, and 3 months later, he was dead, you know. So it was, he was just like he was on TV. If you watch his stuff and you're a fan, you've talked to him just like me. Yeah.
And also he wrote one of my favorite books, Kitchen Confidential, which is really, really good.
I got it, man. I got it.
No.
I've worked in kitchens too in the back, and you know I'm not a chef.
Yeah.
I'm a cook.
When I went to culinary school, one of my chefs gave me that book.
It's like the Spinal Tap for kitchens, man. You know what I mean?
Man, it's a really good book, and Anthony Bourdain will go down as one of the best culinarians of our time. All right,
I've got a lot of his books and stuff. So what's that?
All right, guys. So look, man, we're about an hour and a half into this. We've gone over everything. We've gone over the music career of Troy Primo. We've gone over him trying to be a nurse. We've gone over him getting into his pepper journey. We've gone over Primo's Peppers becoming a thing in 2012 with his wife, Cara. And he's got a lot of good products.
Cara,
I'm so sorry, Cara.
No, it's all right. It's all right. Cara, tomato. It's cool.
Man, I apologize, Cara.
No, if she watches it, she would like throw me in the doghouse if I didn't correct.
No, I totally get it.
I get points.
To Cara.
Yeah.
That's all right.
You got anything else you want to add before we sign off?
Anything else you want to talk about? We talked about Pepper X. We talked about it.
Man, I just we'll see where this movie goes, man. You know. Yeah. And you know, I'll just say for everybody involved in it, don't let it complete you. Just let it compliment you and keep doing what you're doing, you know?
Heck yeah.
You can strategically set yourself up for success if it is a success with merch. And Brandon, you need to do your art, man, have it ready.
That's all I'm doing is my art.
Have something to sell if it takes off, just to support your art or your whatever you do.
Yeah. I'm all about it.
I'm just getting things in line. If it's a success, I'm not like that's about as calculated as it comes with me. You know, I mean, I'm not. You know,
I'm not trying to make the big bucks either, man. I just want to do what I love and support my friends. Yeah.
No regrets.
So real quick,
exactly.
Mitch, you got a couple people in that room. Is anybody there have anything they want to ask Troy before we head out?
Anybody
Come
want
on,
They're all
you guys,
packed.
let's say goodbye.
want to ask Troy anything before we head out?
No, we're just coming to say goodbye.
All right, so
Annie's
before we
Goodbye.
get ready to say
Forrest.
goodbye, like I say always on Friday Night Fire, we do
Right.
giveaways. And tonight is no different. We're actually going to be doing 2 giveaways tonight in honor of Troy Primo joining us. The first giveaway we're going to be doing tonight is going to be this new Campbell's Ghost Pepper Chicken Noodle Soup. If you guys, look, I'm telling you, there's people out there that can't get this. So
Is it
here's
worth
the
the
deal.
shit? Is it all right or what?
It's all right.
It's
No,
hot.
it's actually pretty good. It's pretty
It's got
hot.
some
It's got a
heat
good
to it.
flavor to it. So here's the
Hell
deal.
no.
The first person in the chat who has not tried this or gotten this, because they can't, they don't
I
know
can
where
get
it
it.
is.
Yeah.
First person who has not had this and types chunky in the chat. First person who has not had it and types chunky in the chat gets the chunky ghost pepper soup, and we'll be sending that out to you soon. First person who has not had it and they comment chunky.
Is there chicken in it?
There's chicken and chicken noodle soup.
Oh yeah, there's a little bit
I
of
wouldn't
chicken in
say
there,
it's
so if you're
chicken.
Bruce
vegetarian,
just got
don't eat
4
it.
cans. He's set.
First person to comment chunky. This is how we do our giveaways. Who's gonna get it? Bruce Smith says he just got 4 cans. He doesn't need any.
Zach, nobody wants your soup, bro.
Nobody wants chunky ghost
Hey, do
pepper.
I need to?
There we
we
go.
go.
Ethan wants
That's like
it.
the first
Woo!
person.
Ethan!
Hold on.
Oh, wait,
The first-
wait. They're all
The
coming
very
in.
first one.
They're all
the very
coming
first
in.
one was Ruthless Reaper.
The first one was Ruthless Reaper.
I
can
apologize.
verify.
The very
Oh,
first
not
one
again. Poor Ian.
was Ruthless
Woo,
Reaper.
Ian!
Congratulations, Ruthless Reaper. We'll get with you after the show, and we will get your ghost pepper chunky chicken noodle soup out to you. My next giveaway. I have one more giveaway. Troy Primo, if you could help me with this giveaway, this is the new Ghost Pepper Roulette Sour Punch Straw Challenge. Troy Primo, if you could just give us one word to type in that chat.
Just to come up with?
Yeah, just come up with a word, buddy.
Hudson.
Hudson. First person to comment Hudson. First person to comment
That's
Hudson
my
in the
son's
chat.
name.
Perfect.
Hudson. There it is. Devin
Boom.
Brown.
Devin Brown. He's a great
Devin
dude.
Brown with Hudson. All right.
Hey, look, Hudson. We were gonna name him Harrison Connor Primo after not George Harrison.
You should've.
Harrison Ford and Sean Connery. Last Crusade. Kara just said they're gonna call him Harry, man. So we just said, like he'll be teased the rest of his life. So let's just call him Hudson. Hudson Connery.
Beautiful name, man. Beautiful name. All right,
He's
got
in the movie. He's in the movie too, man. He's in the movie.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
my daughter. I got a 7-year-old. She was 6
Oh, yeah.
when
My
they came around
stepdaughter's
filming.
going to be in it,
But,
too.
yeah, my daughter is in the. She actually went with me to take on a
Awesome.
spicy restaurant challenge, and they got her in there.
Awesome.
And they got her meeting
It's a-
Riley, too. That
Yeah,
Awesome.
right. Yeah, it was a really good time, man.
Well,
The
maybe
show was
maybe
all
we
about
can hook
love.
up Hudson with your kids someday, man.
Heck yeah.
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 All right,
maybe-
guys, listen, it's been an hour and a half. We really appreciate you taking the time out of your Friday to join us, Troy. We learned a lot about you, learned a little bit more about you. We got your thoughts on Pepper X. We got your thoughts on lab tests. We got your thoughts on Ed Curie. We got your thoughts on a lot of stuff tonight, and I appreciate you being completely honest and upfront with us, man.
Yeah. Look, man, I just my opinion is just I don't hate anybody. I just want for this community to have a standard and just I question everything in life, and I don't make the rules, so it's just an opinion. But if I had to do things, that's the way I would do it. So that's
Yeah.
it.
And we totally get it.
I think
I
a
would
lot of
have
people
to.
agree
I would
with
have
you,
to
brother.
agree. After the entire show, I'd have to agree with Troy in his way. There's a certain way that I would want to see a pepper tested, and one way only.
It's just like doing challenges, That's why I like League of Fire. There's rules and regulations.
Standards.
All do the same thing. Standards. It holds us to a higher standard. You know what I mean? And I just appreciate that kind of.
All right,
Last-
guys.
last
All right, guys.
nugget,
We're ending
last
the
nugget,
show.
dude.
We appreciate you, Troy. We love you, and everybody.
Hold
you
on.
guys know where to find us next week.
Last
It's
nugget.
the same spot,
Yeah.
the same time.
Yeah.
Friday Night
Not
Fire.
giving it to you.
Until then, we'll catch you
On the flip
on the
side.
flip side. All right, guys, please enjoy this little clip from Santeria as we get out of here, guys. See you guys later.
Bye, Troy.
Later, man. Later, everybody.
Later.
Later. You can all still hear us.
I know. It's supposed to actually be there.
Hey.
Maybe it's not working. Oh, well.
Oh,
I
there
thought
it
I
goes.
had
It's
sound
coming
on
up.
it. It was supposed to, yeah. I thought I had sound on it. No sound. Damn
No,
it. I
you
must
can
have
listen to us talk.
Yeah, we can just listen to us talk here. Actually, this is what I'm going to do.
I don't practice.